Welcome to the Everything Else channel here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Ring the bell for notifications. Also, at any point during this video, please give it a thumbs up if you like it. And of course, leave a comment down below. This video was actually for the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel. But as you will see at the very beginning, there's a resident that was very upset that I was initially on the sidewalk, then was even upset when I was in the middle of the street because I was in Potterville, Michigan, which is a beautiful community. I went to law school in Lansing. I used to substitute teach in Potterville, dated a girl in Potterville for about a year, and then dated another girl later for like 2 or 3 weeks. And I always liked Potterville. And so Sight Sounds Flavors, I go all around the country: West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Florida, Iowa, Nebraska. And I take videos and I talk about the history of the communities. I really try to stay out of residential areas. But in Potterville, the post office, which is a focal point of any community, especially a small community, is right next to a neighborhood. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to film down the street, and then I wanted to pan over to the post office. But in so doing, there's a home there, and there was an American flag, oddly enough. And I say that because the First Amendment covers that. You know, you're on a street, a sidewalk, a public park, a limited public forum. First Amendment covers that. It's just ironic that the gentleman would have an American flag. And there's another video, which is like 5 minutes worth, where I try to reason with the guy. I tell him my name. I tell him the website. I tell him I'm not there to film his house or the neighborhood. I'm there to start from the post office and then go and cover the whole city. And, you know, it kind of makes me want to start doing an auditing channel because of that interaction. You know, I watch Amagansett Press, Watching the Watchman, Nasty Nathaniel. I watch all of them. And I like First Amendment auditors. I like what they do, but that's not what I do. And so anyways, you're going to see the video of Potterville. It's a very small town in Eaton County. But if I do audits in the future, I'm going to stick to cities and be more in the heart of the cities because I felt very threatened. This gentleman had come out when I was on the sidewalk, and then I backed into the street, and then he was like in the middle of the street with me. And then behind me, there was a neighbor that has like a big pickup truck, and he was like outside, and he was kind of like looking at me, and he didn't threaten me, but he didn't really look all that friendly either. And I felt like I was in a very uncomfortable position right then and there. And then down the street, I saw Eaton County sheriffs go down, and I think probably somebody called them, and I would have really liked for them to have come to the scene to explain to the homeowner, or even the one behind me, hey, this guy is doing something totally legal. You have no right to push him off. He didn't push me physically, but you know, I felt as if a battery was imminent. And that's an assault, by the way. I could have the guy arrested, but it's okay. You can't push the guy from the sidewalk. You can't, you know, evict him from the street. You can't do any of that. It's 100% wrong for you to do that. And it's 100% right for him to be on the sidewalk or the street. I didn't want to get into it, but I thought it was a disservice because I saw the car go by and they didn't come to the scene. Maybe they were just driving around, but I don't know. In any event, I want you guys to enjoy the video of Potterville, Michigan. I hope you know that if you're from Potterville, you know, I don't hold this gentleman as a reflection of your community, but at the same time, I shot this probably... See, I went to Costa Rica and Chile because I also did this internationally in May. This is probably, we're going back maybe April. Maybe April or early May is when I did this video. And I didn't even want to put it up, but now that I've got the Everything Else channel, I'm going to put it here. And even after the video, I was like, kind of like thinking maybe I should do an auditing, you know what I mean? An auditing channel or something like that. Because the First Amendment, really, it's like Amagansett Press says, which is the top YouTuber when it comes to First Amendment audits. Just put AMAG, and it'll be the first one up there with his son, Ben, Watching the Watchman. They do fantastic work. And I could have been struck by a car. I could have been shot. I could have been, you know, I could have been seriously hurt, and I was doing nothing wrong. Like, I was doing I've done hundreds of videos in states and countries, and I've never had that type of interaction. And you know,
watching Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com. We're here in Potterville, Michigan.
Fuck you.
Thank you, sir. And we're in front of the Potterville post office. And we're going to show you around town here. That gentleman was very upset that we're taking a video. Apparently not aware of what the First Amendment covers. And we are doing a video. And as I was saying, I was a substitute teacher here after I graduated from Thomas M. Cooley Law School. And also had a friend that lived out here. You know, I don't do First Amendment audit videos. That's not what I do. And if that gentleman had been nice enough to ask me, and actually, I've got the video. I'm not going to put it up because of him cursing so much, but he asked me what the name of my website was. And unlike the First Amendment auditors, I told him, I said sightsoundsflavors.com. And instead of him, you know, saying thank you or let me go look it up, then he wanted to know my name. And I'm not about to give him my name because I don't know him from a hole in the wall. And I'm not really sure what he would do with that information. But it's interesting, though, that he had a American flag on his lawn and doesn't know what the First Amendment is. And you know, never went on his property. Never even went on the sidewalk, you know. I was in the middle of the street and I had to do a second take because when I did the post office, I got a glare in my eye. And sometimes when I do that, the camera will rock up. And when the camera rocks up, I'll get a cloud or something, or I won't get the good vantage point. And it's regrettable, but I'm not going to not make a video. I've got hundreds of videos in Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. And so I'm not going to not make a video in Potterville, you know, because of one person that's upset, you know. It's just, that's not how it works. It's First Amendment activity. And, you know, that kind of interaction makes me want to post the video because, you know, it's, you know, he was getting very belligerent. And, you know, I don't know, like, it was, that has never happened to me before, ever. I've had countless interactions with law enforcement, positive interactions, shopkeepers, positive interactions. You know, in Warsaw, Kentucky, I had a situation where a resident called and law enforcement came out and they asked me what I was doing. I gave them my website and they said, well, first of all, they thanked me for telling them my website, but then they said I didn't even have to do that, you know. So, and that right there is the mill. And this here is Gizzard City. So, and then back over here you've got some trains. And it looks like there's like a gazebo here. So, I hate to see graffiti on trains though, but how's it going? Hey. So, this gentleman came out here. I guess he was like curious what I was doing. And I don't mind answering questions, but that one guy was really, really hostile. And the guy across the street, you know, he was, I guess, looking, which is fine. Like I said, I don't mind answering questions, but, you know, when people get really hostile like that, you know, I got to protect myself and I can't turn the camera off. I just can't do it.